cross-dressing physician who murdered his wife some years ago and just died in prison a couple of weeks ago. And Rayanne and I had either the fortune or the misfortune to be in the same motel he was when he was arrested up in New Hampshire.
Room 8, room 12.
We were in room 8. Richard Sharp was in room 12. And it was quite the night, so we were on our way to a guitar camp that week, and I took a guitar or a folk music songwriting course, and what else could you do? So this happened in the little town of Tuftonboro, New Hampshire. It's called Tough Time in Tuftonboro. Here we go. And we've never done this in front of people. So. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Tuftonboro, New Hampshire. It is a very small town, the kind of place where nothing happens when the sun goes down. They got a beautiful lake, a general store, nice people too. All of this and an old motel they call the Pine View. He was driving down that country road, making pretty good time. No one knew he'd left the scene of a terrible crime. He shot his wife in front of the kids. Now he's on the run. On the back seat behind him lay his smoking gun. Well, it'll be a tough time in Tuftonboro. It's going down tonight. More police than they'd ever seen, ready for a terrible fight. Over coffee in the general store, they couldn't believe their ears. They'd never seen a night like this in all their years. Well, down at the Pine View in room 12, a man began to weep. It's 2 a.m. and there's a knock at the door in room 8. We're dead asleep. A SWAT team member stood there in full battle array. He said, "You have to evacuate this room right now so you don't get blown away." Tuftonboro, it's going down tonight. More police than they'd ever seen, ready for a terrible fight. Over coffee in the general store, they couldn't believe their ears. They'd never seen a night like this in all their years. Well, they took us out into the street, quiet as a mouse, into unmarked cop cars, to the volunteer firehouse. With the other rooms empty, they had room 12 dead in their sights. It was time for them to make their move at the Pine View tonight. Well, they had a tough time in Tuftonboro. It went down last night. Rifles drawn and pepper spray, ready for a terrible fight. Over coffee in the general store, they couldn't believe their ears. They caught that killer, they took him away, and they said he was in tears. Now Tuftonboro, New Hampshire, still a very small town, the kind of place where nothing happens when the sun goes down. They got a beautiful lake, a general store, nice people too. All of this and an old hotel they call the Pine View. Well, I'll tell you one thing. When my wife and I go back up there to guitar camp up on Lake Winnipesaukee next summer. We'll probably do that. We'll probably go up there to guitar camp. I'll tell you one thing. We're not staying at the Pine